When I think of Earth, I think of just everything that's been happening. So just the formation of it, we were basically dust and then turned into a conglomerate of just rock, and it evolved and kept evolving.
We did have a student sick in Egypt. How difficult it was to deal with this because the hospitals there want payment up front. And if you're super sick, you may not be able to get to your funds or even be alert.
Fulston has made many great discoveries during his time as a scientist, but one of his most memorable is being the very first person to find planets outside of our solar system.
I had a lot of observing time I could use basically any way I wanted. On the largest radio telescope in the world, I started the survey away from the galactic plane, looking for millisecond pulsars, and one of them that I found turned out to have planets around it. Of course, it didn't become immediately obvious when I discovered it. It was only after a rather painful process of follow-up observations.
Do you think that's enough?
No, it is not. Sorry I didn't let you finish the question, but it's so clearly not.
Absolutely not. I, in high school at one point, was making $8.50 an hour for a job, and after taxes and everything, I was working over 40 hours a week, which first of all is illegal for a 14-year-old. And after taxes and everything and working over 40 hours at $8.50, I was only pulling in like a couple hundred maybe every 2 weeks. Like it's not livable, it really isn't.
I did a whole speech about raising the minimum wage because I think we should. It has not kept up with inflation since it was set. I mean, you have people's rent is more than what they make in a month. That's just not sustainable.
Of course not. Of course not. Like, $7.25 an hour is not even close to like anything. If you really think about how expensive things are, how prices are growing, $7.25 is barely being able to like get McDonald's sometimes. You know?
I think as an instructor, you really have to be flexible with that. You know, for everyone, including myself, that's not something that we normally encounter with disruptions in school. And so because of that, you have to kind of shift and make decisions kind of quickly with how you can support your students.
Natural language processors, like Siri and Alexa, need human voices like ours to improve their understanding of how humans talk. For example, if someone had a different dialect or said something different than you, Siri and Alexa need to be able to understand that that is the same word.
According to OPPU, educational debt in the United States has tripled over the last decade, exceeding $1.5 trillion. The students who need to take out a loan for these tuition or living costs have also been having trouble paying off these loans. By 2023, almost 40% of all students who have taken out a loan will fail to pay it off.
Data to listen to their conversations, but not necessarily for advertising purposes. It's more so to make sure that the accuracy of what is said into those devices is accurate and clear.